Our section is titled Scaffolding Your Website. And in this video, what we're going to get into is a little bit of the basics on ASP.NET Core 2 and React. So first, what is ASP.NET? ASP.NET was first released way back in 2002, and it actually stands for Active Server Pages. It's a framework that lets you build server-based web apps on Windows and only on Windows, no other servers. ASP.NET Core is the next iteration of ASP.NET. This was first released just in 2016, and it is an open source framework, which is great. That means you can go take a look at the source code yourself to see how it works. You could actually contribute to the source code to make it look better or work better. And it's a framework that lets you build cloud-based web apps on Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. So any of those three operating systems will work, and you can even store it in Azure or AWS or whatever cloud hosting service you have that supports ASP.NET Core. So why use ASP.NET Core instead of just ASP.NET? Well, again, you can build for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, or you can build with the cloud in mind. You can also have multiple versions per machine. That wasn't true with standard ASP.NET. It was one version per machine. But with ASP.NET Core, you can have one web app running one version, a different web app running a different version. They'll all play nicely together side by side. You can also develop with Visual Studio for Mac, Visual Studio Code using C# or F# as the language. And if you're not thrilled with the Microsoft offerings, you can go with Atom. Sublime, WebStorm is a text editor practically you could use to develop for ASP.NET Core. It's also higher performance than standard ASP.NET. And it's also got a smaller footprint because with ASP.NET, we downloaded the whole .NET framework. It was this massive thing that sat on the drive, whether you were using the whole thing or not. With ASP.NET Core, we download packages. So we can just download the parts of ASP.NET Core that we need and save the space that we don't need to use. So let's talk about React then for a second. React was first created at Facebook in 2011 by a gentleman named Jordan Walke. And Mr. Walke, I apologize for mispronouncing your last name. If you're listening, I didn't mean to, but that's as close as I can come. Anyway, he designed React as a framework for building user interfaces. It wasn't open sourced until 2013, but it is certainly open source now. You can go see the framework for yourself, the source code. You can contribute to it. You can help fix bugs in it. You can do whatever you need to do to help make it a better product for everyone. So why use React? For one reason, it's component-based. That means that we don't have to write everything monolithically in one giant page. We just write a little bit here and there in different places, and we bring all those together in one HTML page. Each of those components manage their own state. And that's great because it means that you don't have to remember what the state was changing from one component to another. They manage their own. And it's only components that change that are updated. In the standard monolithic websites that we may be used to, the whole page updated if one little text box needed to update. Well, with React, it's only that one little text box that will update if it's changed, not the whole thing. So we've definitely got some pros to using ASP.NET Core and React. And in our next video, we'll actually look at updating to the latest version of ASP.NET Core 2.1, and I hope to see you there.